started working with the Ohio Green Team about a year ago. I was one of the first 35 medical marijuana recommending physicians to get their licensure approval. So I've been doing that since 2018 as well. Just I did my family medicine residency in Southern Ohio. So down there, unfortunately, big opioid epidemic. A lot of people that I've seen come through Ohio Green Team's door wanting to get off opioids, realizing it's dangerous, it's very addictive. So a lot of folks with chronic pain come in and we can get them, you know, on the road to slowly weaning off of those opioids, transitioning to medical marijuana.
Absolutely. So we all know the benefits of medical marijuana. You know, you've mentioned so many of them transitioning off of opioids. It's really good for seizures. It's, you know, cancer patients, different things like that. And it's been around in Ohio for quite a while. But we have this circumstance right now, and it's, you know, in the news because it happened at this grade school. And come to find out that this young girl, elementary school girl, got basically weed gummies, got a hold of them and then took them to school and shared them with their classmates. uh, First off, can you just give us a little bit of background on marijuana edibles, and in particular, we know that these were very strong ones.
Yes, absolutely. At least in the state of Ohio, there are rules and regulations in terms of how the medical marijuana products are packaged. One of the things that they took into consideration, of course, is we don't want our kids to get a hold of these things. So packaging, part of the rules and regulations, packaging is made to be very bland, not marketed to children. You're not going to see any fun shapes like, you know, fruit shapes, gummy bear shapes. They're essentially just cut squares. And I can show you an example. It's kind of hard to see on Zoom, but this is just a very generic packaging of one of the companies in Ohio that produces medical gummy bears, very bland, and, you know, nothing to see there. There is a label here that does say that it contains THC, and on the back there is a cautionary warning that says that, you know, how to properly use it, where to contain it, that sort of thing. Additionally, in terms of, you know, medical marijuana providers, at Ohio Green Team, we always tell our patients to keep everything in its original packaging. We do also recommend folks to keep any, you know, any medication you don't want to get your hands on in a safe prescription lockbox. I have an example that we show our patients. This is it's called a stash bag. You can purchase it online anywhere. But it's slash proof. You can't cut it open. It does also have a combination here on the side where the zipper locks place into this lock here. You punch in a 3-digit code, push this button, and then you can unzip it like this. So that way kids can't get a hold of it as well.
Yeah, we were, you know, having a discussion in the newsroom. There are just so many different types of medicine that come in gummies nowadays. I mean, your multivitamins, you can do hair, skin, and nail vitamins, melatonin, different things that you know, they come in like what is like a candy form, but they still come with that, you know, the screw top childproof packaging on it. Is that something that could be recommended as well? I mean, these are drugs, so in my head it's store your drugs like they're drugs.
Absolutely, yes. Yes, so some of the packaging also in terms of the medical marijuana program is sort of childproof. You know, there's ways and means. If it comes in a bottle, you have to, you know, push it, twist it a specific way, much like prescription bottles where a kid can't just, you know, pop it open like you were saying, you know, like a pop top, nothing like that.
Yeah. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I think it was Boston Children's Hospital had a little bit of recommendations on there about how to talk to your kids, because obviously there are other legal substances in the house but that kids can't have. You know, I mean, there are many, you know, alcohols, especially, you know, seltzers that might look like a regular LaCroix or a different kind of seltzer as well. Do you have any recommendations for how to talk to children, or perhaps talk to children before they might go to sleepovers where you might know that there is an adult in the house that has their medical marijuana card?
Yeah, so you know, it comes with sort of the stigma in terms of marijuana, as it was, you know, still at a federal level considered an illegal substance, but again, state by state have their varying programs and regulations. But we recommend our patients to, you know, sit down, talk to your kids, tell them it's a medicine, tell them, daddy takes this medicine. It's not candy. It might look like candy, but, it's just for dad. That sort of thing, to make it, well known that it's not, something that you should expose your children to, that sort of thing. In the same ways as alcohol, you teach your kids, this is a grown-up drink. You can't have this, that sort of thing.
We were talking a little bit on background yesterday, just talking about the dosage of these gummies, the 50 milligrams. That is a lot. Can
Yeah.
you perhaps explain, what that sort of dosage would do? I mean, not only to a small child, we're talking elementary school kids here, but an adult as well, if they, don't have, I guess, a certain level of tolerance that they have built up.
Yeah. So, one of the things that makes edibles, in terms of medical marijuana, very popular is that, of course, it tastes good. It's easy to use. You just, have a gummy, that sort of thing. But another thing that we do caution people about at Ohio Green Team is that marijuana, or the chemicals in marijuana, THC being the most psychoactive substance, meaning that's the substance that causes a high, it actually gets, what do I want to say? It turns into a more potent form of marijuana when you ingest it.
Okay.
So that's when a lot of people get a quote unquote bad trip when they have an edible, is that unfortunately they don't wait, the recommended timing, which can be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to get the full effects of an edible. So a lot of times you're ingesting a lot more than you should. And then by the time that you get the peak effects of that, it's far too much for your system. Generally, for new patients, we recommend anywhere between 5 to 10 milligrams of THC per edible. Quite honestly, 50 milligrams of THC, that's something we save for patients that might be, metastatic cancer and hospice, or patients that have gastrointestinal diseases where their gut lining might not absorb like a normal gut lining would. So 50 milligrams is a very astronomical amount, especially for a child, especially for somebody brand new who has never used marijuana before.
Can you explain the effects on the body that that would have on a child?
Yeah, child or adult, they would definitely experience, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, up to the point they could possibly have hallucinations, that sort of thing.
Ugh. All right. Anything that I have not asked you that you would like to add about making sure that marijuana is safe and stored safely in your household?
Yeah, generally what we tell patients, when they go to the dispensary, once they purchase their product from the dispensary, what will happen is they will put it into a brown paper bag and staple it closed.
Mhm.
We would recommend them to, when they have that product in their car, to put it in their trunk and, take it home, put it in a safe place, either a lock box or somewhere they know, where no one else will be able to get to it. And always keep it in its original packaging. And if they ever have questions about dosage, how to use it, they can always contact their medical marijuana doctor, or they can contact the dispensary where they purchase the product.